Hey, Gaijin Guinea Pig here, and today we're talking about Mobile Suit Gundam. If you don't know, there is a new movie out in Japan right now for Mobile Suit Gundam, Cucuruz Doan's Island, which does not roll off the tongue, by the way. Apparently, it is a full length feature retelling, sort of reimagining of a quote unquote lost episode from the original series, episode 15, which apparently did not live up to the standards of Yoshiyuki Tomino, which is one of Gundam's creators. So he was like, I'm not going to release this. The production is crap. The quality is crap. It's not up to my standards, whatever you want to call it. So they made a movie about it, which is an interesting choice. But there's an article that I want to share with you guys really quick about Yoshiyuki not wanting to release episode 15 in outside of Japan. So, when Bandai Entertainment was preparing to license Mobile Suit Gundam in North America in 2001, director Yoshiyuki Tomino had an unusual request: delete episode 15. Tomino has never been coy about his dislike of Cucuruz. Fuck, that does not roll off the tongue. Doan's Island, the 15th episode, which originally aired in 1979 during Mobile Suit Gundam's initial run on Nagoya Broadcasting Network, was a particularly off-model episode of an already strained production. Still, Bandai complied, and the result was that episode 15 has never been released outside of Japan. Overseas DVDs, Blu-rays, streaming versions of Mobile Suit Gundam all skip over the episode as if it never happened. If Tomino had not attempted to conceal Cucuruz Doan's Island, it would probably be a forgotten footnote in the show's history. But since he did, the mystery around Gundam's lost episode has only grown. Now, even a feature film, which is what we're talking about, based on the episode slated to open in 2022, we're here. How did the director's least favorite episode become so popular? And was it really so bad to begin with? So, apparently there was never an official reason given as to why it was excluded from all the overseas releases. There was a Q&A with him at the Anime Expo in New York, and Tomino said, I asked that it be skipped. There's a reason, but since the staff is still alive, I can't talk about it. Wow, that's him throwing shade without throwing shade, right? So that's about as direct as he ever got. I mean, we can assume that it just didn't live up to the standards that he was going for. Yeah, from a narrative perspective, it's a side story to the main plot of Mobile Suit Gundam. Protagonist Amuro lands the core fighter on an island where he encounters a deserter from Zeon, the enemy nation of Mobile Suit Gundam. After he was shocked to find he'd orphaned three civilian children in combat, Cucuruz Doan leaves the war and instead uses his Zaku to defend the children and their caretaker, a young woman. It is the only time in the series that we meet a character who isn't affiliated with either side of the war. Basically plagued with guilt, and so he was like, I'm changing my life. There's nothing wrong with the plot, but the animation's another story. Doan's mobile suit is a spaghetti slim Zaku that barely remembers the proportions of the heavy-set enemy grunt suit seen elsewhere in the show. A particularly low point in the episode is at the 18-minute mark when Doan Zaku's shoulders are flipped, showing the spike armor on the wrong side. Another famous moment renders the Gundam's head as hilariously inflated. Still, episode 15 is far from the only episode to have funny animation errors. Is it so much worse than anything else in Mobile Suit Gundam? So, apparently that was the only casualty in the entire 1979 TV series production. In a 2019 NHK documentary, Making Gundam: The Inside Story, the production team spoke extensively about their difficulties creating the series. There was basically a lack of resources and a lack of time. One of the biggest blows to the team came midway through when art director Yoshikazu Yasuhiko faced an extended hospital stay. He had a serious lung infection, which was probably exacerbated by overwork. So the art became increasingly inconsistent in his absence. It was so hard to watch, he said. I felt so bad. I couldn't give it my undivided attention. I was in a private room with a bed and kept pulling the blanket over my head until I was completely underneath, unable to watch anymore. Oh man, that sounds brutal. Ooh. So that's what it sounds like. I mean, it's quite a history. This video would be like 45 minutes long if I talked about the entire history, but so we can blame production issues for the reason why this particular episode was never released outside of Japan, and they were like, "Hey, let's make a wrong thing right. Put all our polish into a feature-length film and release it that way." Sort of feels like a giant apology almost, doesn't it? So what's interesting though is that people sort of refer to it as a forgotten throwaway episode, which is interesting in the sense that it must not be a throwaway episode if you're willing to make a full-length movie about it, right? Or they clearly thought that there was something special in the story to the point where they were like I said, let's make a wrong thing right. But anyway, if you want to catch up on Gundam, Netflix has a lot of Gundam on there. The first 3 movies. It's not really a compilation of all the episodes together. It's more of a best of. So if you do watch the Gundam movies 1, 2, and 3 on Netflix, just keep in mind that it's not really told in a normal movie tone with like a first act, second act, third act. It's sort of like compiling all the episodes of the original series into sort of like a best of or a compilation. So, take that for what it is. But you can also, if you're in the US, you can watch the original series on Crunchyroll, which, why not? So, yeah, if you're into Gundam, I can't see why you wouldn't want to watch this movie, why you would just dismiss it. So, why don't we just take a look at the trailer together, right? See what's going on. Hopefully, we'll like what we see. Let's go.
島に降り立ったアムロ。
気をつけて。なんだか嫌な予感がするわ。
大丈夫ですよ、セイラさん。
その島である男に出会う。少尉殿、上です、
上。めちゃくちゃヤバい展開じゃねえか。
撃ち落として。
よし来た、撤収しろ。
This animation does not suck.
ククルスドアン。立ち去れ。お前たちとは戦いたくない。
早い。
あいつはジオンも俺たちを裏切った。赤い彗星かドアンかってね。ガンダムよ、このザクを倒せるか。
No doubt.
決着をつけなければ。
そこだ。
機動戦士ガンダム、ククルスドアンの島。
Cucuruz Doan's no Shima. Yeah, all right. This is what I would call a no-brainer, in the sense that if you watch Gundam, why wouldn't you watch this? Again, I think that the creator and team behind it must have felt like there was something special enough within this lost episode to warrant creating an entire movie about it. I mean, damn. I mean, I'll check it out for sure. Apparently, from what I'm reading, it's made a ton of money already. Like, I think it was like 300 million yen in just the first 2 days of its opening. I'm not sure when it's going to get a release outside of Japan. Just a matter of time, I'm sure, because all these streaming services pick up Gundam stuff. It's one of the biggest titles in Japanese animation history. So, whew. Thanks for running the recap with me, guys. I mean, what a legacy on this episode. It's pretty epic. What do you guys think? Is this something you're going to check out? Are you a fan of Gundam? I'd like to know your thoughts about the trailer for this. I don't want to call it a remake. It's essentially an entirely different retelling of an episode that we never got to see. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a like. Subscribe, help my small channel grow. Check out some other reaction videos. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.